Hi viewers, I'm going to start a new course today whose title is Python and Data Science. This course is focused more towards data science, but since Python is the prerequisite for data science, so we will be covering Python first, and it is in the module 1 where we will be studying crash course in Python. I would try to cover all the basic points of Python in a faster speed so we could rush towards the data science. Before starting Python, we should know the reasons why we should learn Python. There are a lot of reasons behind it. First of all, it is used in data science, it is used in scripting as well as in automation. It has huge applications in big data, in testing, as well as in artificial intelligence and web development. Some of the points that are valuable for Python learning are it is portable, extensible, simple, very straightforward, and easy to learn. So, just moving towards the chapter number 1. In chapter number 1, I'm going to cover all these points which are mentioned here. I would discuss different programming environments for Python, then I would discuss variables, string functions, string concatenation, and how to add spaces and how to remove those spaces as well as tabs and how we can write comments in Python. A lot of programming environment exists there. Anaconda, Sublime Text, Visual Studio Code, Atom, and Python Charm. It is not limited to these tools only. A lot of tools other than these are also available, which you can use to develop your Python program. I would recommend to use Anaconda. Why Anaconda? Because it is very popular and is very simple and straightforward. It's just a single application that brings all of the tools together that are being used in data science or in machine learning with just one click of installation. So it has very short and simple setup. That's why I would recommend to go for it. So to install Anaconda, I would recommend all of you to just go to the Google and write Anaconda. You would directly visit its website, that is this Anaconda. You have to search for the setup. Just look here. If you want to get started, they will be telling you which type of operating system you have and which type of software you would be taking. You can download that product directly from here, and when it will download, you have to install that. It is very simple, very straightforward. You can just do that. If you're facing any difficulties, you can comment out here. I will read your difficulties and I will answer your question. So just go ahead and download Anaconda first. If I click on get started, I would go for Anaconda products. Let me just check for Anaconda free download. Although it's free, but still I would like to write individual edition. Yes, this is the link. You have to just click on download. Since I already have installed it, so I will not be downloading it. When you click on this download button, it will direct you towards the end of the page where Python for Windows, Python 3.8 for Mac operating system, and Python for Linux. I have installed this one. I would recommend you to go for this graphic installer because it's very simple and straightforward as compared to command line installer. If you're using Windows, then go for this 64-bit graphic installer. If you're using Linux, then go for this 64-bit installer. So when you will install this product, you will see a screen similar to this one. In this screen, you have to search for Jupyter Notebook, that is here, and you just have to click on this launch button. It will launch Jupyter Notebook in which you can program Python application. So this is the path. If you want to create a new folder, you just have to click on new and then you will create a folder. There's a new folder created whose title is untitled folder. In this folder, I can create a new application. I will create a new Python 3 file. So this is actually a new Python 3 file. Whatever I will teach you, you have to practice that here, and at the same time you will get the output. Okay, so it's very simple and very straightforward. You can use Visual Studio Code as well. You can use Sublime Text. I have used almost 7 to 8 compilers different for Python, but this is the one that I would prefer you, since we are using data science. We will be learning data science in next module. So Anaconda is already has already all the libraries and other prerequisites that are required for data science already installed in this Jupyter notebook. So please go for the Jupyter, right? So just moving towards the very first lecture, that is about variables. Variables are used to store data. Different types of variables can exist. Variable can be string, it can be integer. So any kind of variable you will make, you have to write the name of variable equal to and the variable value. I will tell you that here. For example, message is the name of my variable equal to, and I would write here hello to Python world. After that, I will print this message on screen. To print this message, I'll simply type print, and then I will pass this message value in it. To run it, I will use control and enter. It has shown the output here, hello to Python world directly. Okay, so if you're trying to write a new code here, you can just press B and it will open a new tab where you can write your new code. So I can also declare some variable of integer type. For example, I can declare age equals to 24, and then I would like to print this age. How will I print that? I'll just press enter, and then I will write print function. Already it displays everything that is passed in it. So I'll write print my age is then to concatenate I will use plus this plus age. So it will show me some error. What kind of error it has shown? Oh, sorry, it is, since it is integer, so I cannot write it directly inside the print statement. To write it inside the print statement, I have to use the string function, um similar to this one. Invalid syntax, so just leave it here. I have missed my age is 24. Yes. So plus is used for concatenation, and if you are using an integer value, it means you first have to convert that value to string, then you can use it inside print statement. So how will you convert that integer value to string? You will simply use this str function and you will pass age here. Okay. So this was our first step about the variables, about the string variables. Whenever you want to specify a variable, you have to enclose that within double quotes. What if you have a statement that has single inverted comma and double inverted comma as well? Like I told my friend, this is enclosed in single comma, but Python is my favorite programming language, is enclosed in double inverted comma. So how will you handle this type of statement? To handle this type of statement, it is very simple. You can just directly write it inside your print statement. Print function accepts integer values, right? So I have executed it. I told my friend Python is my favorite programming language. This was enclosed in double quotes, and in output, you can say that it is also enclosed in inverted commas. What if I change it to single inverted comma? It will throw me an error. Okay, we cannot mention single comma inside single comma. What you have to do, if you are enclosing a statement within double inverted comma and the statement has another single inverted comma, it means you have to use outer side with the single inverted and inner side with the double inverted, and vice versa, it's also true. So if I run it, it will give me an error. Okay. Look, it has given me an error. What if I change this to double inverted commas? It's fine. And I will write the inner statement in single inverted comma. And if I run it, it's fine. Okay. So we have to use these single and double inverted comma interchangeably. If external is inverted, then internal should be single inverted. If internal is double inverted, then external should be single inverted. Okay. So it was all about the strings. There are some functions that are related to string. We have to discover those functions as well. So just going back to the notebook, here we can write message equals to hello to my Python world. Now, what if I write print message dot title? It will simply display the title, and the output will be same as that of simple message. Yes, it is. Its output is simple, same as that of its simple output. Hello to Python word, here to Python word. So actually, title prints the value that is being stored in the variable. Again, I will write the same message. I'm just going to copy paste it. I'll write it here. And another function is message dot upper. It will convert all my letters to uppercase letter. Look, it has converted all the letters to uppercase letter. Similarly, if I write here dot lower, it will convert all my letters to lowercase letter. Look, it has converted it to lowercase letters. So to concatenation of string, we have already studied it before. Just going through it again. So just write it here. First name equals to Maniha, and second name or last name equals to Rani, then full name equals to first name plus last name and print full name. So it has printed my full name. So this was all about concatenation. How will you combine two strings? You will have to combine two strings by using plus sign. Not only two strings, if you want to combine two integer type of variables, you can combine them by using plus sign. Similarly, if you want to combine a string with an integer variable, you can use plus sign. How will you do that? I have already told you here. My age is actually string and age is actually integer. You have combined both of these values by using plus. So this was all about concatenation. So moving towards the next topic, that is how we will be using backslash t and backslash n. To use backslash t and backslash n is very simple. Just copying it again. I'm going to write it here. But if I write full name backslash t, and then what if I enter it? Maniha, then it has inserted a tab, and then it has shown me the last name. What if I write here backslash n? It has shown Maniha, then tab, then Rani, and then a new line. Okay, so backslash t is used to insert a tab, and backslash n is used to go to a new line. Okay, so how do you remove spaces? We have started learning how we can add spaces, but how do we remove spaces? This is useful sometimes when we have a lot of data and that is rough and that needs cleansing, and we want to remove a lot of spaces that are already been allocated in the data. So how we will remove the spaces? That is also simple. For example, if there is a space before Maniha and a space after Maniha, then we can use a function whose title is strip. You can see it here. I have mentioned it. Stripping white spaces. We have used strip function. Okay, so whatever the value is, you have to do that value dot strip. You can do that here. For example, first name dot strip. First name has spaces, so I will write dot strip function, and then I want to execute it. It has shown me my name only without spaces. What if I show you like this? It is showing me the space. And what if I write dot strip function? It is removing all the spaces. Look. So similarly, what if I use strip left and strip right? There are two type of strip function. One is strip left and one is strip right. So to mention those, left strip is about removing the space from left side, and I will write it here L strip. I'll run it. It has removed the space of left side. If I write R strip, it will remove the space from right side. Okay, so that was all about the functions. Just moving towards the integers and floats, we can directly add, subtract, and multiply, as well as divide all the integers that are available in Python. We can store those functions in the variable directly. Let's look here. Integer, for example, the value here is 23. That has been assigned to age. Age is equal to 23.5. So it means any value that is having floating point factor or point value or decimal value, that would be considered as floating value or float value. So age here is equal to 23. Message is equal to happy. Then birthday, we have to show happiest 23rd birthday. How we will show that? It is very simple. Let's say age equals to 23. Then message equals to happy plus age plus birthday. Then I'll show it in print message, but it will throw me an error. If I run it, it will throw me an error. Why is it giving me an error? Because print statement accepts string parameter. The value should be string. But here, if you focus, message equals to happy, this age is not string. This age is actually integer. Check out, its value is integer, and happy birthday, both of these are string, but age is integer. In order to print that value in print function, you have to convert this integer to string. And to convert this age to string, what we will use, we have already done it before, we will use str function. Str dot, not dot, str is accepting age. So what is this str function? Str converts integer to string. Str function converts integer to string, so it will convert this age of 23 to the string. And what if I run it now? It will remove the exception and it is showing me happy 23rd birthday. So I'm going to run it again, and now it's showing me happy 23rd birthday. There shouldn't be any space. So it's happy 23rd birthday. This is how you can convert an integer value to a string value by using a simple function, that is str function. Okay. So this is the last topic of this chapter. That is how we will mention the comments. In order to mention comments, it's very simple. You can just use hash chapter number 1. It is comment. Comment is very important to make your code understandable to the one who is reading it. So that was all about today's lecture. I hope it is very clear. If you're facing some difficulty or you're having some problem in installation or in these topics, you can drop out your comment there and I will understand your question and respond to you.